I'm Kathy Tidaldi, and I work here at the Livingston Parish Library, the Denham Springs branch, and I am here to show you how to make some beautiful paper roses. I know we've done roses before, but these are different. These are out of book pages. I also made some out of colored paper, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But since Mother's Day is right around the corner, we've been looking for an opportunity to show you how to make these, and this one, I put a pin backing on it so it can be a corsage. I have a special person in mind. The Director of Adult Services requested this, and so Charlotte, this one's for you. And then the others, you could put a magnet on the back and put it on the refrigerator. You can use it to decorate a gift. I have another surprise for you at the end. I'll show you something else you can do with it. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to make the flowers. And we have a second flower over here that's just a fun and easy add-on. So we're going to do this one first. We sometimes have books that have outlived their usefulness. They're old and nobody's checking them out and nobody wants to buy them. And so we end up using them. We give them a new life as a recycled craft. And so we look for book page art whenever that happens. And that's when I ran across this. So it's really fun and it's really easy. You start with a page. Now, let me show you, if you haven't noticed, if you didn't see my other video about book page art, when I find an old book that, like I said, I want to use for crafts, I simply open it up. Usually I'm working backward, and I put a metal edge down. I take a very sharp knife, and I just go through quite a few pages at once. See there? You get a chunk of them. And in this case, you only need 4 for each flower, so that's plenty enough for what we're going to do today. But that's how you would go about cutting up the pages for your book art. So I'm going to sit this over to the side, and I've got some pages right here that I'm going to use for this particular one. These flowers are made out of circles, concentric circles, and so I'm going to show you how to cut your circles out. All right, now for folding this, you're going to fold it over once. Doesn't have to be exactly in half. You want to get a lot of text in there. Then you're going to fold it over a second time. And then the third time makes it into a point right there. So there you have that. And I want you to think ice cream cone, because we're going to cut the top off in a curve so that it looks like an ice cream cone. There you have it. And when you open it up, well, now I like to cut the point off because we're going to be gluing this in. You'll see in a minute why that's a good idea. So, you have a hole in the middle, and you have, it looks like a flower already. Now, I already cut out, you want to cut 4 of these. I already cut out 3 just to save a little time, but now you see, you fold it into a point, cut it like an ice cream cone, and then you have a circle. Now, you have 4 of these, and let me show you what you're going to do to cut these out. For preparation, you're going to cut one in half, right down the lines where you folded. Now this is the only one, oops, this is the only one you're not going to use because you've got 4 here. Now, you're going to cut one with 3. 1, 2, 3. So you have 3 and 5. 3, 4, and 5. You're going to cut one with 2, 2 and 6. See where I'm going with this, huh? And then you're going to cut one with just 1. 1 and 7. Hold up, we need one more page because we need one that's all 8. So I'm going to cut one more. Real quickly here, I'm going to cut one more ice cream cone out. Cut the tip off. And that one, I'm not going to cut anything off of it. I'm just going to cut a slice. There. That's going to be Now I'm going to put that extra 4 one away over to the side. Now, we're going to start, you've got these all stacked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, the first thing we're going to do, oh, by the way, I'm using a hot glue gun for this. If you have a little more time to spare, you can actually do it with a glue stick or even white paper glue. But I like to use the hot glue gun because it works really fast. So, I'm going to put a little line here. Put this on top of it. You see I overlapped that? Press it in place. That's going to be the base of your flower. Everything else goes into that. So we're going to sit that over to the side. I'm going to flip these over. I'm going to do the one with 7 pieces, seven petals. We're going to do that one next by putting a little glue there. Overlap it. Press it in place. I'm going to glue these together in a minute, but we're going to wait till they're all assembled first. That's number 6 petals. Here comes the 5th one. Well, it's not the 5th one, it's the 4th one, but it's got 5 petals. All right, just keep curving it around. You're going to get a little tighter now because you're running out of petal space there. This one, see, when you had 4 and you overlap them, it ends up with 3 petals showing. So that's going to go in there. This is the 3rd one. Now at this point, I might actually not overlap it all the way. I might just overlap it part of the way. Kind of curve it under. There you go. See? And we've got 2 left. I'm going to use this paintbrush to curl the petals in a minute, but I also can use it to wrap these so that it's got a little bit of roundness to it and it doesn't just lay completely flat after I glue it. Kind of curl it around a little bit. So, I want to glue the edge of this one shut. See there, it fits around itself a little better if I've curled it. And especially the last one. When you're down to just one, curl it from one side and then curl it from the other side, and then it's going to glue right on top of itself there and make a little cone, a little horn almost there. And the reason I like to use hot glue for this is because it dries fast. It's really quick, and you've got exactly what you were hoping for real quick. All right, so there's all the pieces and parts for your flower, and now we're going to glue them together. So I start with the largest one. Now you see, this is why the holes work out, because if you didn't cut the holes, if it was just pointed, they would be stacking up on top of each other it wouldn't go together quite as smoothly. So, for this, I'm just going to put a little hot glue right around the center of the hole. And I'm going to put the one that goes next right in there. And it's not going to fit perfectly because it's a little smaller. But pretty quick it dries. And you put another ring of hot glue. And you put the next one in. You want to kind of stagger it so the petals are not all facing the same direction. But you hold it in place until it's a little bit stuck there. You put a little, the next one goes in. Now I'm going to put the glue around the outside of the ones that are going in, because it's getting kind of tight in there. It's called hot glue gun for a reason. All right, 3 more to go. Sometimes you need to hold it still just for a second so it'll keep its place. Getting there. The last one's about to be glued in place. All right, we're going to move that out of the way. All right. Now you're almost finished. You're through with the gluing part. If you want to pull the strings off of it so they don't show, that's fine. Probably a good idea. All right, now the thing that's going to make it look like a rose, like a flower, is your paintbrush. And I don't know if you saw my other rose video, but it's pretty much the same thing, only instead of doing the separate corners, on this one I just simply roll it one time straight out from the rose. You just curl it over that edge of that paint, and you can use something other than a paintbrush. You can use a small pencil, or you can use a coffee stirrer. Anything that's just a cylindrical object you can use to curl your petals for your rose. And this part's kind of fun. It's what makes it look like a flower. And you just keep going around and around. And you don't have to put a pearl in the middle, but I'm going to show you that part in a minute after we get through rolling all these petals back. Just continue around with each layer. Now you can use these to decorate a present. You can make them smaller. You don't have to make quite as many petals if you want your rose to not be as full as this one. You could probably get away with cutting 4 of them instead of, what did I end up with, 5? You can use it for, like I said, any kind of decorations. Make a pin. You could even make some little bitty ones and make earrings. Now while I'm curling this, I'll show you this one. And this one were not made out of book pages. This one was made out of scrapbook paper, the kind that comes and it's kind of stiff. It's like cardstock almost, it's so stiff. But it holds up really well for something like this. This one, it's similar to scrapbook paper that you buy by the sheet. It comes out like copy paper, but that one is actually copy paper. What I did was I found a photograph on Images of roses. Red roses, just a whole, like a wallpaper screen of nothing but red roses, and I printed it onto a piece of white paper. And so the back is white, but on the front you have the print of the red roses, and I made a rose out of it. So I thought that one came out kind of fun. Depending on what color you want yours to be, you could do a blue one, have blue roses. But these definitely come out looking like a rose. And you just curl it until you can't curl no more. When you get to the center and it's really hard to make curls, you can leave it alone because in nature those parts are not very curly anyway. You see? Now you've got your rose, and for the pearl in the middle, if you're not blessed with a deep sea diver for a brother or son, you can just get Mardi Gras beads. Glue around, not on your fingers if at all possible. And put that in the center. That one went down pretty far because the hole I was using was a little bigger. But there's your pearl in the middle of your rose. Now, I also have some pins that we used last year for summer reading club, And if you want to make a corsage out of this, if you want to just put it on the package, it's ready to go. All you have to do is put a little glue or double stick tape on it and apply it to your package. But if you want to make a pin out of it, I simply put the hot glue on the back of it and glue the pin right onto it. That's how I made the corsage. And as soon as that dries, you have a rose pin. There you go. See, wasn't that fun? It was really easy. It's easier than it looks. I mean, it comes out looking like it's not that easy, but it really is. Well, so this is how you can make a lot of lovely flowers to decorate for Mother's Day or for anything that comes along. And if you're a mother, I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. And even if you're not a mother, I hope you have a wonderful day on Mother's Day. And remember to stay safe and stay happy and just keep reading. And now I'm going to explain, we are going to do something special with these flowers. We're going to decorate a wreath with them, and I'm going to pass them off to Sunny. Sunny is going to show you how to put these on a wonderful wreath for Mother's Day. Here, have some of the little ones too, Sunny. There you go. Oop, oop.
Hey everyone, my name is Sunny and I'm with the Watson Branch Library. And with Kathy's help from the Denham Springs branch, we're making a Rags to Roses wreath. Kathy has generously made the roses that we're going to decorate our wreath today, and she has sent some to my branch from Denham Springs. Thanks, Kathy! So the supplies that you're going to need for today's project is a spin top mop head, some scissors, the paper flowers that you have previously made. Optional is some doilies, and you will need either some cardboard or I'm using foam board today. And you're going to need your hot glue gun and a lot of glue sticks. So just for information, you want to use the spin top mop head because it has the hole in the middle, so once it's set up it'll actually look like a wreath. And also these things come pristine white, like glowing white. So what I did was, for both of these, I made coffee and I just soaked the mop head in them. You can tell the difference. I did a strong brew on this one, and this was just a normal, regular coffee brew. So you do whatever you like, but you soak it in the coffee, then you drain it and rinse it out and then dry it. I threw mine in my dryer at home, and it took about 3 turns to get the thing completely dry. It may have been a little too wet when I put it in, but it worked, and it's completely dry now, and it smells like coffee, so bonus. All right. The first step in making the wreath is cutting your background. So you just lay the mop head onto your cardboard or foam board surface, and then you will just simply draw a circle around the wreath. And you also want to do the same thing on the inside of the wreath. Okay, so you have your circle drawn, and you're going to want to cut on the inside of the outer circle, and also you want to cut the small circle bigger, because you want this to be hidden behind the wreath. It's just there to support, and we're going to glue the mop strings down onto this, so this isn't going to be seen. So let me get to cutting. So I cut my foam board out. You can't see the foam through the center, and once we get this glued down, you're not going to be able to see anything around the outside as well. So to glue it down, just start applying your hot glue. Try to get all those strings up and out of the glue's path, because that would be bad. And adjust. Okay. So it's glued on to the frame, and now all you're going to do is kind of brush your strings out straight. Okay, and then you'll take them a section at a time and you'll glue. And then place those down, place the strings down. And you'll work your way around. And then when you come back, you'll glue again and press these down. You don't have to press them completely flat unless you want to, unless that's the look you're going for. But it's optional. However you glue it down is completely to your preference. You do want to make sure that the foam board or the cardboard, whatever you're using for the backer, is completely covered by your mop strings. Gives a neat illusion of how is your mop just making a wreath shape and not flopping over. And be careful of accidentally pressing your fingers into the hot glue, because it is hot. Continue, and once that layer is done, we're going to see if there's any loose strands, and we'll just tack those down with a little hot glue. The wreath has been glued down, so all you do is pick it up and see if there's any loose strands that you might have missed, and just tack it down with your hot glue. Okay. And just go around the edge of your wreath and just try to clean up any of the hot glue strings that will definitely be there. Okay, and this middle part you just fluff up. So I seem to have an extra little loop here. So I think that is going to be where I add my decoration, just to hide that little point. But before I do that, I want to go around and see if there's any crazy stragglers. And if there are, just cut them off. Okay, not bad. My flowers today are just so pretty. Kathy did an amazing job with these. And they're easy, so try them out, guys. I think just for a little color separation, I'm gonna do the white doily. I think that looks pretty. So you have it where you want it, and just put some glue on the solid parts of the doily and push it down. Still be careful because it is hot. Be really pretty if you had, if you did roses out of like a magazine. You'd have some color on here. But the monochromatic look I like. And that's it. You have a wreath from rags to roses, made out of the pages of a book. Spin top mop head. We have just some special pearl tipped pins, your doily, and a little bit of lace. Very, very easy. And guys, don't forget, your library can print these for you on a 3D printer. Just go to thingiverse.com and look for a hot glue gun holder. It's just wonderful having your glue gun where it's supposed to be all the time. Okay? Thank you for joining Kathy and I as we made this Rags to Roses wreath for you today. I hope you do try it and you'll post pictures and show us how yours came out. I'd love to see the variations of what you come up with. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube just to see what's going on with us and stay up to date with any projects or any current news. We look forward to seeing you very soon in person, and happy crafting.